If God is for nationalism, who is for globalism? Those who are against God. I'll show it to you. 1973, the Humanist Manifesto 2 was published. This was their roughly 50-year vision for the planet. Here we are, about 50-ish years later, and you tell me if their vision hasn't become reality. It says, humans are responsible for what we are or will become. No deity will save us. There's no God, there's no Jesus, there's no heaven. We must save ourselves. Good people pulled together save the planet. The ultimate goal should be the fulfillment of the potential for growth in each human personality, not for the favored few, but for all of humankind. Only a shared world, globalism, and global measures will suffice. We deplore the division of humankind on nationalistic grounds. Acts 17, God determines the times and places in which you live. Genesis 11, God created the nations. We have reached a turning point in human history where the best option is to transcend the limits of national sovereignty. Declaration of Independence, Constitution, American government, and to move toward the building of a world community in which all sectors of the human family can participate. It concludes, thus we look to the development of a system of world law. How many of you that scares you? World law and a world order based upon transnational federal government. What that means is global government. This would appreciate cultural pluralism and diversity. For the first time in human history, no part of humankind can be isolated from any other. Each person's future is in some way linked to all. It's pantheism. We thus reaffirm a commitment to the building of a world community, at the same time recognizing that this commits us to some hard choices. At the present juncture of history, commitment to all humankind is the highest commitment of which we are capable. It transcends the narrow allegiances of church. Here's what it's saying. We need to get rid of Christianity so that we can be global. Let me say this. Jesus Christ and the kingdom of God for us is not a narrow allegiance. It is an ultimate allegiance. A narrow allegiance of church, state, party, class, or race in moving toward a wider vision of human potentiality. What more daring a goal for humankind than for each person to become an ideal as well as practice a citizen of a world community? What I'm telling you is this, that God is for nationalism and that those who hate God are for globalism. And globalism has been this guiding vision, pushing and pressing for about 50 years. Now, that being said, the concept of globalism, it is exactly what Satan would want. Let me set this up for you. Let's assume all the nations come together, all the economies come together. There's one global government ruling and reigning with all authority and power. What are the odds that someone evil gets to be in charge? 100%. 100%. The result is that all of that potential will be used for evil. This is exactly what Satan wants. And this is the progressive myth. The progressive myth is we're good, getting better. If we all just pull together, we don't need God. We can save everything and everyone by ourselves. We don't believe that. We believe that people are sinful, right? And that sinners with unlimited power are dangerous. And it leads to tyranny. And it leads to destruction. And it's exactly, if you see the Bible the way that I do, this is exactly what Satan wants. So globalism triggers the last days. We'll read a little bit. 2 Thessalonians 2:3-4. For that day will not come unless the rebellion comes first, and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the son of destruction, who opposes and exalts himself against every so-called God or object of worship, so that he takes his seat in the temple of God, proclaiming himself to be God. So the Bible warns us, as we head toward the last days of the end times, there's going to be globalism, and this person's going to rise up. They're going to be celebrity, and they're going to be political leader and economic leader and spiritual leader, and they're going to be the counterfeit of Christ, and they're going to want to rule and reign over the nations, and they're going to promise peace and prosperity, and Satan is going to fill them, and they're going to destroy. This is exactly the plan. I think of it. There were little experiments in this in Exodus with the Pharaoh, in Babylon with Nebuchadnezzar, in the days of the Roman Empire in the New Testament with Caesar. There were small efforts and attempts at this. 2 John 7 says, "For many deceivers have gone out into the world, those who do not confess the coming of Jesus Christ in the flesh." We believe that Jesus Christ is coming again in the flesh. "Such a one is the deceiver and the Antichrist." Here's what he says. Somebody's going to rise up and say, there is no Jesus, he's not coming back. If we want to save the planet, if we want to save the nations, if we want to save humanity from whatever the existential crisis is, we just need to all come together in a globalistic vision, and then we just need one leader. And John says his name will be Antichrist. Now, he won't put that on his LinkedIn page. Right? His name will be Sam or something. You know. But nonetheless, he'll be Antichrist. Anti is two things: remove, replace. He's going to want to get rid of Jesus and be Jesus. This, friends, is the war in heaven that Satan and demons declared war on God, and they wanted to overthrow the government of heaven, and Satan and demons wanted to remove and replace God. And they were thrown down to the earth. And ever since the first collision with our first parents in the Garden of Eden, Satan and demons have been trying to do the same thing. Just get us to be in charge of everyone, everywhere, so that we can rule and reign as the counterfeit of Christ is Antichrist. Thanks for joining me. My name is Pastor Mark. I've been teaching the Bible for more than 3 decades and head on constant collisions with woke culture. And I would love to get you more Bible teaching. 2 things you can do. Go ahead and watch the sermon in total and also subscribe to the channel. And I'll just keep sending you Bible teaching and we'll have a lot more fun together.